and a transfer roundup. Oh, it's Dele, not Ali. No, it's Dele. Tasty Champions League ties at the second attempt. De Jong has potential suitors, Dele free to leave, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and yesterday, the Champions League knockout stages were drawn at the second attempt after an absolute kerfuffle on the first attempt, where, in all honesty, there was a bit of a human error and Manchester United weren't in the draw for one of the games. It turns out they had to redo the whole thing. So the second time around, it looks like not too many teams are that disappointed with the draw except for Real Madrid. They are clearly very, very annoyed. But basically, they've been drawn against PSG. We'll see Sergio Ramos head back to Real Madrid, although he'll probably be injured for PSG. We'll see Lionel Messi return to face his eternal La Liga rivals. And we'll see Kylian Mbappe put in probably an audition for his new club. The thing is though, Real Madrid complained about drawing PSG because first time round they drew Benfica, and then they said it was before the error that was made in the draw, so technically their one should still count. Benfica are sat right there. Guys, that's just offensive to the Portuguese side, basically saying, oh, we thought we had an easier draw first, why have we got PSG now? An absolute nightmare. Anyway, talking of Kylian Mbappe, like I mentioned, is he actually going to play against Real Madrid? The reason I ask is because Kylian Mbappe's contract runs out at the end of the season, but you guys already knew that. So from the 1st of January, he can speak to other clubs abroad. Real Madrid are the ones who want him the most. It looks as though he's going to be heading to Real Madrid, but surely he cannot sign a pre-contract agreement to agree to move to the Bernabeu in the summer and then go there and play against them and have to put in full effort and potentially knock them out of the Champions League. I know he's going to do so because he's a professional, but there's a little bit of an underlying story to this one, and I think it could be rather tasty. Elsewhere, even in the rest of the Champions League draw holders, Chelsea face off against Lille, Liverpool face Inter Milan, and Salzburg take on Bayern Munich as some of the highlights of the draw. Oh, and don't forget, there's a bit of a new rule in the Champions League this season that away goals do not count. I'm still undecided about how I feel on this one. I think away goals added a bit of an edge to the games, but also it can make it a little unfair when we head into extra time after the second leg. So, no away goals this year. We'll go straight to extra time without them counting. And then, of course, if the two teams can't be separated, it is to a penalty shootout. So next up, and we're discussing the future of Frenkie de Jong. Now, me, like many other football fans around the world, see him at Barcelona for the long term. It's implausible to think that he's going to be leaving anytime soon, but according to the player's father, when talking to a Dutch radio station, he did mention that there have been an offer for his son from all big 5 clubs in Europe. Not quite sure which 5 clubs he's talking about. I mean, you got the obvious ones there, but I don't want to go through them and offend anybody. What he has said, though, is that Bayern Munich and Manchester United are both very interesting prospects, but he doesn't really like the weather in Manchester. This is something we've heard before. Angel Di Maria talked about it when he was at Real Madrid. Apparently, he and his wife hated the weather. Bernardo Silva was going to leave Manchester City this summer because he hates the weather, and now, in the midst of winter, he's in his finest form for Pep Guardiola's side. Surely it's not that big of a deal. Like, I know Spain is very nice weather. We're talking about Bayern Munich as well. Let's not act like the south of Germany doesn't get a lot of snow too. Doesn't really make much sense to me. I mean, fair weather sportsman, football is played throughout the winter. We know it is, and I'm sure Frenkie de Jong is absolutely fine with it. Anyway, his dad, like I mentioned, said that Barcelona do need the money and a massive offer would help, but it doesn't look likely. Honestly, think, like I mentioned at the beginning of this story, if Barcelona are going to sell anyone, Frenkie de Jong is probably bottom of that list. They'll want to keep him, Pedri, and 1 or 2 others for as long as possible, and certainly there's a lot of deadwood to be got rid of before they even consider selling the Dutchman. Moving on then, and someone who will be sold in January, and that is Dele from Spurs. After an inconsistent, last 18 months or so, verging on 2 years, it looks as though Daniel Levy and the club have finally decided to send him out, but only on loan. The English midfielder has a contract until 2024, so there's a potential for him to go out on loan and not only show to a potential loanee club that he's worth the money come the end of the season if he signs a 6-month loan deal, or he shows Tottenham that he's good enough, comes back, gets into the squad, or he shows that he's good enough and another club wants to sign him after the loan deal expires. Now, there are 4 teams who have been linked with his signing, and honestly, it's a bit of a weird difference in teams. The first one is PSG. They reportedly were interested in Dele Alli last summer, but the club decided to keep him around. After Nuno Espirito Santo played him in a few games, Antonio Conte has clearly decided that Alli does not fit into his system. So, PSG. Okay, maybe that one might work. He could be a useful squad player. He's definitely one of those players who will help them in Liga when a few of the superstars aren't ready. But going from playing alongside Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, playing in the Champions League, away at the Bernabeu, who knows? From the other three teams that he's linked with, including Wolves, Newcastle and Aston Villa, and no disrespect to those clubs, but they're hardly fighting on the same level as PSG. The one thing is he'll get way more game time should he go to any of those, and in the case of Newcastle, if he were to go there, manage to help them stay up, they definitely would have enough money to play Tottenham and pay Dele's wages in the future. The one thing I would take from this is that it's clear that the club wants to keep him around, but now with Antonio Conte, he doesn't fit in the plans. They're willing to get rid of him. It looks as though Conte is being given the reins when it comes to transfers, his squad, and what could potentially happen to the team in January. Finally then, a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news. The Premier League have confirmed that Manchester United's match with Brentford has been postponed due to a COVID outbreak at Manchester United. Barcelona, Juventus and Corinthians are all interested in signing Edinson Cavani from Manchester United. Sergio Aguero is expected to announce his retirement due to a heart problem in a press conference at Barcelona on Wednesday. And lastly but not least, Newcastle have their eye on two January signings. One of these rumoured ones isn't Dele Alli, but it's Jesse Lingard and Lille defender Sven Botman. That's all from me then. Make sure you check it back tomorrow for loads more OneFootball content.